Hey guys, what's up? It's Ashley. So obviously I'm like decked out, not something you guys typically see me, but I wanted to do a video creating this look for Valentine's Day. I wanted to do something different from the typical burgundy lip and the sharp wing liner. I wanted something more subtle, not that this is honestly subtle, but more subtle than the other makeup looks that are always produced for Valentine's Day. I also have these earrings on because I thought it would really complement this makeup look, and it might be something that I may do on my Get Ready With Me video that you guys will see in a couple weeks. I will show you guys everything that I use. Everything will be linked down below, and let's get to it. So I'm just going to bring back my hair, and I have a mirror right in front of me so that way I can see everything that I'm doing. I have not tested out this makeup look before, so I hope it works well. If not, then we're just going to go through it, have fun, and just enjoy playing with makeup. I didn't do anything with my face just yet, and you can obviously see that my eyebrows are not done. My lady is still not back from her vacation, but it's no problem because she's enjoying her life. And once I get them done, they'll look like super fresh. So for the eyebrows, I'm just gonna keep them super natural for this look, but however you style your eyebrows, whether it's like super like on fleek, or if anyone even says it anymore, but if they're like super structured, or if you like to keep them really bushy and like big browed looking, then you could totally do whatever feels best for you. I'm going to start off with the face products. I have a couple of them in front of me, but these two have been like my go-to lately. And they're both by Smashbox. So this is the Photo Finish Primerizer. So it's a primer and a moisturizer in one. And then I like to use this Photo Finish Primer Water, which is a set and refresh spray. So I like to use this before I apply my makeup and also after. So I'm gonna use the moisturizer or the primerizer and just take a little bit of that and put that all over my face. So the primer is on. I'm going to take my Photo Finish Primer Water from Smashbox and just shake it up and just do like a light spritz all over my face. The foundation that I'm going to be using is the same foundation as before. This is by Maybelline. It's the Dream Satin Liquid in 75, Natural Base. So it's a foundation and a hydrating serum in one. So I'm just gonna shake this up, and I think I'm gonna do at least like 2 pumps, because I always like to start off with a little bit of foundation and then work my way up. And I'm going to pounce the foundation all over my face. And I made sure that the beauty blender was wet too, because I don't like a dry beauty blender. I talked to you guys about this foundation before. Like I said, it's a really good foundation for my skin. I've already used it a couple of times since the last time you saw me using it, and I like it. I still don't have an issue with it. Am I like 100% into this foundation? No, because I can say that I have a couple of other foundations that like I just can't get rid of and just can't switch over to something else like immediately. But this foundation is pretty good so far. I wouldn't say like it's bad, but I wouldn't say it's the greatest. But I'm still in the process of like testing it out, so I can't say that it's 100% like something that I am going to switch to in the future. I think the best thing about makeup is the foundation. I love to try to make it as natural looking as possible, and I really will take my time with it. I don't like to rush into a foundation routine because I think that's like the first thing you see when you notice someone in person. So it's always good to make sure that your foundation is well blended out. Also, using a correct primer for your skin type is important too. Like, I use the Primerizer because I like adding moisture to my face and it keeps everything balanced. I also like using these two primers. This is the YSL Touche Eclat Blur Primer. So this is good like when I'm going out and I want a super flawless face. Or I use the Dr. Brandt Pores No More. It's the Pore Refiner Primer, and this is really good at minimizing your pores, and it's also good for like everyday makeup. That way you can like still have like a fresh face look. You don't have to apply that much foundation with that primer, and you just look absolutely flawless. I mean, you don't have to use it just for the day. You could use it at night too. I don't know if I should add more foundation. No, I think I'm gonna keep it like that. So the next thing that I'm going to do is conceal, and I'm going to use the same concealers that I used from the last video. This is by E.L.F. It's the Hydrating Camo Concealer, and maybe you could focus. And I'm going to use the shade Medium Sand and Light Beige. So I'm gonna start off with the lightest shade first. And of course it has the doe foot applicator. And I'm going to take it and place it on the inner corner of my eyes first. And then I'm gonna do like a little tribal look on my face. And I'll take the next shade, which is Medium Sand, and apply that on the areas where I put the lightest concealer. So I mix these two concealers together because it's like the perfect shade for me. And I'm just going to take my beauty blender and, per usual, just blend underneath my eyes and around my nose, get all the coverage that I need for this look. I'm making this look for a date that Evan and I may possibly do on Valentine's Day. Hopefully we have the time to do it, we'll see. But I wanted to come up with like a different type of look because if you know me, I always do like a bronze look every single time. Either monochromatic brown or like a bronzy look. And I know that Evan likes when I have different makeup looks and I use color because he likes when I use color, and personally I don't. I like to keep everything super neutral. But I want to step out of my comfort zone when it comes to makeup, and I want to do more videos on YouTube with makeup because as much as I love fashion, and honestly fashion is like my top thing, I want to start using makeup more because that was kind of like my first, well actually no. Makeup wasn't my first love. Fashion is and still will be my first love, and it's the first thing I'll ever do. But makeup has always been like a getaway for me. I just want to, again, just step out of my comfort zone, test all the different makeup products out because I think it's so fun having like a ton of makeup products that you've never tried before in front of you and just testing it. I'm going to get going with the powder. I know I talked about the E.L.F. Halo Glow setting powder and I'm still testing it out. I will say one day, I don't know what combination I did, but this powder was looking really good for my skin. I need to figure out what that combination was, and I think honestly this was it, but I still have to test it. I'm just gonna use the E.L.F. powder, and this is in the shade Medium, I think. Yeah, it's in the shade Medium. It is new. You could find it at Target or E.L.F. or any other places that sell E.L.F. products. I take the same powder and also apply it under my eye. And I think I need to purchase an under eye powder because this powder was good one day and the next day it was not good. I don't know if it was because of like the weather or my skin was just going a little bit like crazy, but I want to try the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder for my under eye. I have seen that many years on YouTube and all of the YouTubers talk about it, so I want to test it out for myself and see if I like it. The next thing that I'm going to do, which you guys already know how much I love this, it's the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Contour, and just bronze my face. And yes, I did powder my face before I applied this cream. Like, this product is really good when applied on top of powders in my opinion, and it still gives like a very flawless finish. It doesn't look patchy. And in person, it is so pretty. Whenever I contour my face, I obviously like to use this product, and I like to go around the perimeter of my face and also make like a little bit of a 3. So I would start from the temple, then work from the temple down to the cheek, and then I would take a little bit and just go down my neck and also down my jawline. And I make sure to pat it into the skin, not rub. And then I just take whatever excess I have on the sponge and just apply it on my nose. Sometimes when I apply my bronzer, I feel like the center of my face looks really dull, so I just take whatever leftover I have and just pat it all around. So the liquid contour is on. I'm gonna use the powder, and I'm gonna keep testing this out. This is by E.L.F. It's the Primer-Infused bronzer, and I'm going to take the same brush that I used for my powder and just press the bronzer into the skin. Like I said in the last video, I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's like amazing to me. Combination between the cushion cream contour and this powder isn't too bad. And I want to incorporate it in this video too, because in case you wanted to do this type of look, it is available. So, you know, you don't have to like spend a crazy ton amount of money for a bronzer if you're just gonna do a look like this like every once in a while. I'm going to use blush, and I think I might use the Kylie blush that I got for Christmas. And it's the pressed blush powder, and the color is We're Going Shopping. So I'm gonna use this blush. It's like a very peachy color. I think it will work really nice with the rose gold look. If it doesn't, then I'll go ahead and change it up or maybe apply like another blush on top. I'm gonna use this, and then you guys know I like to take the blush and apply it on my chin and also the tip of my nose just to make it more of a natural look. And I'm going to stop there. I don't know if I showed you guys this before. I like to take a little bit of what's on the brush and apply it on top of the bronzer. I'm going to use a little bit of the light beige concealer and just apply a tad bit on my eyes. Now I'll be using this as a base for my eyeshadow. I've never used this as a base for my eyeshadow before. I honestly don't use bases at all, or any base, because I don't wear that much eyeshadow. We're gonna get into the eyes now. I think I'm gonna use this eyeshadow duo by Kylie Jenner. So this is the Quartz and Topaz eyeshadow duo. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that shadow and just darken up the crease a little bit. Now, I don't have a really deep crease, so I like to use like many different layers of browns to create that crease that I don't naturally have. The brush that I'm using is by Morphe. It's the M441, and this is like the perfect blending brush for your crease. I like to take the same like brown shadow and just place it underneath the bottom lash. So I have the lightest brown on now. So the next layer would be a darker brown. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of that and place it on like this part of my crease. That way it can deepen up this part of my eye a little bit more. Make sure that when you're doing something like this for your eyes, that you start off with a little bit of your eyeshadow and then work your way up to whatever type of depth you want for your eyeshadow looks. Because you don't want to start off too harsh because you can't go back. I mean, you can, but you'll end up starting off your makeup look all over again. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do when it comes to blending. I'm gonna be blending a lot more later on. I have a lot of other eyeshadows that I have to put on, so I'm just gonna stop there. So, of course, now we need the rose gold. I'm going to apply a really pretty rose gold shadow, but before I do, I'm going to use the first brush that I ever got from Urban Decay, which came in the first palette I got from them, and it's just a flat synthetic brush, and I'm going to make sure that I put some of the primer water on it. That way the eyeshadow can really stand out on my lid. I'm going to use Rose Quartz, and I'm gonna take one side of that flat brush, and I'm going to pat that shadow in. I'm just gonna keep applying that shadow in the center of my eyelid until it's bright enough to where you can see it on my lid. This color would be really pretty for women with brown eyes. I mean, honestly, it could work for any eye, but with the rose gold, it has like some brown hues to it, so it'll make my brown eyes pop more. Like, I don't know if I go closer into the screen, you could see how my brown eyes just pop. So I'm just gonna keep pressing this into my eye. Make sure that when you're at the corner that you're using the really like thin part of the synthetic brush to just shape it from the inside out. I wanna give it some dimension. So once I finish applying as much of the rose quartz that I want, I'm going to apply a lighter shadow just to give a little bit more dimension and mainly place it on the center of my lid. I'm going to use Touche, which is like a lighter rose gold, not as deep as the rose quartz. And I'm just going to press that in the center of my lid. And don't worry if it looks like too choppy between the two colors, because you're going to use your blending brush to blend them out. And then I'm gonna go back with the rose quartz. I'm gonna use the opposite side of the synthetic brush. Just press that rose quartz shade in the outside and the inside of my eye. Not touching the Touche color that I just applied in the center of my lid. So I'm just gonna take that blending brush and just blend the outside, also blend the inside here. So I'm gonna use the Lorac Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in Gilded Honey because I wanna start working on my face again and going back to that. And I like to get the top parts of my cheek, and also like this area is what I love to highlight the most. And then go down the center of my nose and the tip of my nose. And I'm going to take the highlighter, place it on my Cupid's bow, on top of my chin, and also right on the other top of my cheek. I'm also gonna use the same highlighter and place it on the sides of my forehead. That way, like if I'm turning a different direction, there's like a glow that is consistent throughout my face. And I also like to take just a little bit and place it in the center because I always get like a shiny center, so I have to be careful with that. But okay, yeah, that's good. And I'm going to work on the brows so I can get an idea of what the brows are gonna look like. The brow product that I'm using is by Essence. It's the Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this because I already told you guys that my eyebrows are not done, so I'm just gonna make them really like natural, bushy, big. So I'm just going to brush the product through my brows. And like I said, you can make your eyebrows however you want it. If you want to go super sharp with them, or if you want to do what I'm doing today because your lady is out of town, then you can make them, you know, natural looking, or honestly however you want. And that's it with the brows. I'm not doing anything else. They're just super natural and I'm going to keep them that way. So we're gonna go back into the eyeshadow, and I'm gonna take that synthetic brush that I used earlier, but I'm not going to use the flat side of the brush. I'm actually going to use the tip of it. And I'm going to go along the lower lash line and just create some depth with the rose gold color. I just wanna connect the eyeshadow up here with the lash line on the bottom. I'm also going to take Touche and I wanna place it towards the inner corner of my eye. I'm gonna use the Morphe M433. This is more of like a defining blending brush. I'm gonna go back with the Dusty Mauve color, tap off the excess, and just blend the rose quartz that I applied on my lid and using the Dusty Mauve to just deepen up the color a little bit more. And whenever you blend, sometimes the color that you applied on your lid goes away, like it's not as pigmented. So I'm gonna take the same synthetic brush that I've been using, and using the primer water, I'm just gonna add a little bit more so it makes it a little bit wet looking on the skin or on the eyelid, and just keep patting the same color. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the Touche shade and place that on my lid. And going back with my blending brush, I'm going to use walnut this time. Grab a little bit of that and just blend it. Now I'm also gonna use the same brush because we're gonna go back to the lower line. And I'm going to place the walnut shade, which is that dark brown, and just hover underneath my lower lash. So I am going to apply a little bit of highlight on my brow bone and just apply a little bit of that highlighter underneath my brow. And I don't want to highlight too much underneath my brow because they're not done and they're gonna look wild with the highlighter. And I think I'm going to go back to that blending crease color and blend a little bit more with the blending brush too, because I feel like this side was a little bit choppy. I'm gonna go into the eyelashes, and I'm honestly gonna apply this off camera, but before I do, I wanna show you guys what I have. This is by Eyelure London, and it's by Vegas Nay, which I think she's a YouTuber here, and she created these really pretty wispy, like faux mink lashes. I think they would be perfect for the type of look that I'm going for. and I just wanted to go a little bit all out with the lashes. I'm going to apply this off camera and I will come back and hopefully that will change the whole makeup look from there. Okay, so I got the lashes on, which took me a little bit because it's been a while since I've applied lashes on my face. I'm going to go back into the eyeshadows that I used earlier and just deepen up the look a little bit. I'm going to get that flat brush that I had and dip it back into rose quartz and just apply it on top, since now that I have the lashes, it's, you know, definitely something I have to reapply. Then I'm gonna go back into the Dusty Mauve and go into the crease a little bit more. And I think I'm going to keep it just like that. I'm going to use the same blending brush that I have in my hands and dip it into walnut and just apply that brown tone right underneath the eye. I did make sure to tightline my top line and also my bottom line. This is by Julep. It's the When Pencil Matte Gel. It's a long-lasting eyeliner in the shade Soft Black. Then I used my old Lorac Front of the Line Pro liquid liner, and the color is black as well. But I really love this makeup look so far. Let me just add a little bit of the brow gel just to darken the brows a little bit. So I think I'm satisfied with the makeup look, but I want to apply the lips. So now I'm going to use this lip liner by Kylie Jenner, and it's in the shade Ice Latte. I originally was gonna go for a like peachy corally lip, but I think I'm gonna go for this one color that I found from Kylie, and it will complement this look very well. All right, so I got the lip liner on, and the shade that I found from Kylie is the color Clove, and it's a matte liquid lip, and it's just a pretty like mauve color, but it complements the rose gold that we just added on the eye. So I'm gonna put this on really quick. This is what the lip looks like. I'm just gonna touch up here, because sometimes I miss the corner. You see how it's not like purple, but it's not brown, but it's not burgundy. It's just a very interesting color. But I love this a lot. I'm gonna let it dry because I wanna add a little bit of a gloss on top just to add some dimension. So I'm gonna try some really pretty earrings that I found from Target. It's actually these earrings. I thought it was really cute for this type of makeup look. I think I'm gonna use this makeup look and these earrings together and find an outfit that will complement it. But look how cute that is. That's really pretty. The lips are all dry. I'm gonna use the lip gloss that I used in the last video. It's by Neutrogena, and it's the Hydra Boost Hydrating Lip Shine. And what I like is that this is like a nude color. So it is gonna change the color of the liquid lip. This is the look. This is what I'm going for. I think it's super pretty. It's more subtle. I feel like you can wear it during the day if you want to go this route, or you could wear it at night, just apply heavily on the eyeshadow, like more than what I have. I will make sure to leave all of the products that I use in this video down below. That way you guys can take a look at it and purchase it, get it, try it out, and have fun with it. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.